So it is Super Bowl weekend, and you might be wondering, what do the Chiefs and the Eagles have that the Cowboys don't to be playing in the big game? Today, we'll dive into three championship traits that the Cowboys lack, but they desperately need to end a 29-year-long drought. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at ATZ Sports Dallas. We are talking Super Bowl 49 Cowboys style because the Eagles are there, the Chiefs are there, and it's that time of the year where you're sitting there looking at the TV, looking at the previews, watching shows, reading articles, and thinking to yourself, why can it not be us? Why can it not be the Cowboys in the championship game? And listen, I could take the easy route and be like, well, the Cowboys don't have Saquon Barkley. They don't have Patrick Mahomes. Heck, they don't have Andy Reid. But instead, we'll talk about three traits the Cowboys could realistically have that make a Super Bowl caliber team. Let's kick off with number one on the list, and in my opinion, the most important one: an aggressive front office. Now, you might be quick to think, okay, he means Howie Roseman, this guy that is pulling off trades left and right on draft day, but also whenever an opportunity comes up. Hell, even with Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, and multiple offensive linemen being paid big-time money, the Eagles are reportedly going to be in the mix for Myles Garrett now that he's seeking a trade. That would never happen with the Cowboys. But even the Chiefs provide an example of an aggressive front office. They might not be the biggest spenders in free agency, but think about that Tyreek Hill trade. They gave away one of the biggest stars in the NFL, and in result, they rebuilt their defense. That trade fueled the acquisitions of people like Trent McDuffie, people like George Karlaftis, talent that has taken Steve Spagnuolo's defense to another level. Sure, he is a genius, but the front office made sure the talent improved, and over the last couple of years, the Chiefs' defense has been critical to their success. Meanwhile, the Cowboys have Jerry Jones running the show as the quote-unquote GM, and they barely spend in free agency. They barely pull off any trades, and their whole strategy is draft and develop. The problem is they don't complement it. That has to change if the Cowboys are ever going to make the Super Bowl again. Number two on the list, and this applies more to the Eagles than it does the Chiefs, but a mean, nasty run game. Now, you don't have to have Saquon Barkley to get there. You don't have to have one of the best offensive lines in football to get there. But in the last few years, the Cowboys have not been able to rely on their run game. The last time that happened was in the first 4 years of Ezekiel Elliott's career. That's not only been a talent issue for the Cowboys. The blocking scheme has not been creative. The coaching has not been there. And the Cowboys have acquired some good talent up front, but they rarely use it well. Fortunately, Brian Schottenheimer seems to be fixated in improving the run game, and his hires so far suggest that he might be able to spice it up. That's why he brought Clayton Adams in as offensive coordinator, and he might implement some concepts that we have not seen much of in recent memory in Dallas. I, for one, prefer an efficient passing game over an efficient running game. There is no doubt that in the postseason, if you can run the football, you will have the upper hand in many of these games if you're in a position to close them out or if you want to out-physical your opponent. Now, last but certainly not least is the Chiefs' super weapon, the Chiefs' secret sauce, the Chiefs' favorite magic trick. But before we get to that, let's talk Super Bowl 49 very quick, because I've got some predictions that I want to share with you, and I want you to share your predictions with me. I've got the Chiefs winning, but more importantly, I've got two player projections that I'm getting ready to use over at Underdog Fantasy, the number one fantasy app in sports where you can use your projections to win real life cash. My Underdog Fantasy play of the week is going to be Xavier Worthy, going for higher than 5.5 catches. He's been so important for the Chiefs offense over the last few weeks, and against the Big Fangio defense, I expect a lot of short passes his way. Now, on the other side of the ball, I've got Leo Chenal going for more than 2.5 tackles plus assists. I expect Saquon Barkley to run the football a ton in this game, and there is no better run defender on that team than Leo Chenal. And as far as the game goes, I've got the Chiefs winning a close one in New Orleans. I've got it 30-29, but it won't be easy. What will be easy, though, is using those projections to win real money over at Underdog Fantasy. Now, the Chiefs' secret weapon is all about timely play calling. It's not that they're explosive. It's not that they're efficient. It's that when the stakes are the highest, the Chiefs are at their best. Think about the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs needed a stop, 3rd and 10. They show blitz. Josh Allen changes the play. They go for 5 yards. It's 4th and 5. At that moment, Steve Spagnuolo runs the best blitz that he could have called in that moment. Later in the game, to ice it, it's third down, and the Chiefs throw a pass to Samaje Perine on the flat, gets the first down easy. Why? Because every other receiver ran a route only to clear the way for them. They have these tricks at every single turn when the stakes are the highest. And you think about the Cowboys in the playoffs, and that has not been the case. We've seen some of the worst play calling from Mike McCarthy, from Kellen Moore, even from Dan Quinn in the playoffs. That's been a problem for the Chiefs. It's been a strength. So those are 3 Super Bowl trades that the Cowboys are missing, but that they need if they're gonna end their drought. But I don't know that they will.